Hello and welcome to the Stars, Goddesses and What's for Tea podcast. My name is Samantha Selby and I am known as the astrological energy healer and channel for star goddess activations. I help the plate juggling women, the ones who really make the world go round, to lead a more spiritually aligned life, to recognise themselves as the goddesses that they truly are. I will be bringing the sometimes complicated concepts of astrology and energy healing down to earth and making them relevant to you and your life. If you haven't already, click on the link in the show notes to download my simple 2-step energy cleansing and alignment ritual so you can have your best day every day. Using the power of the planets, astrology and energy healing, you can take the inside track in your life and follow your soul pathway to the next level of soul ascension alongside human level health, wealth and happiness. So let's dive into all of this juiciness in today's episode. Hello and welcome to this episode where we're going to be exploring the power, the wonder and the mystery of retrograde planets. So in the Astrology as Alchemy series, I shared with you the energy of every one of the personal planets, the planets that make up your inner boardroom, from the sun and the moon, your core identity, through to Mercury, your thoughts, how you make sense of the world, how you communicate, your mind, Venus, your heart, your emotions, how you relate to the world, how you show up in relationships, how you feel about the world. And then Mars, the planet of action, the energy that gets you off the sofa, that takes you outside of your front door every single day, the energy that you use to step out of your comfort zone. Mars, the planet of courage and confidence. And then Jupiter, the gaseous planet, the planet of your belief systems, everything that is movable, expandable. Jupiter, the planet and the energy that you use when you dream and you vision. Jupiter is your feedback loop. Jupiter is the results you get after you've taken action, after you've experienced your emotions, after you've thought your thoughts, and after you have explored and known who you are. And then Saturn, the planet of mastery and success. Saturn, the Lord of Time. Saturn, the great reckoner. Saturn is our results. And so now we know and have an understanding of how each of these planets work within ourselves as your inner boardroom, the energies that basically run your life. Let's go deeper into how they function and how we can begin to use their energy as they move across the heavens, across the sky. So from our perception here on Earth, for a very long time, as human beings, we thought we were the center of the universe. Obviously, we now know that we're not. We are but a speck in the vastness of the cosmos. But for a very long time, we were the center. Us here on planet Earth, everything revolved around us. And this is really embedded in our human psyche. Human beings on this planet have a kind of inbuilt energy that they are in charge of everything. We can see this around us in unevolved human beings who see themselves as basically the center of everything. Small children do this, not because they're unevolved, but because their ability to perceive the world comes from them. And this is part of human survival, this self-centered energy, everything revolves around me. But as we evolve and grow as light beings, as soul entities, our spirituality teaches us that we are a small part of something much bigger than us. And this is really what spirituality is. Whether you encase it and contain it within an organized religion, or whether it's just an awareness that you have that you are part of a much bigger whole. So all of our understanding of astrology really comes back to this feeling that we are the center of everything. And this is where retrograde planets come in, because the planets aren't really moving backwards in the sky. It is only from our perception here on Earth that they look as if they are. Because we have to remember that astrology was created, or the study of the stars first happened when we did think that everything revolved around us. So retrograde planets, they don't really move across the sky. They're not really going backwards. But from our perception here on Earth, they look as if they are. It can feel as if things are going backwards in our lives. But that's just one way of viewing this. An alternative way is to perceive this as another opportunity, another chance to do things again, like a second chance, to go back over something so that you can do it better the next time round. And this is how I like to view retrograde planets. I'm not one of the Mercury retrograde made me do it band. That's not how I view things. And I would encourage you to step over to my side and to use retrograde planets as an energy of opportunity. So let's explore each one in turn. Now, probably the most famous retrograde planet, the one that, unless you've been hiding under a stone, you would have heard about, and that is Mercury. And the reason we know about this, and the reason Mercury is the one that everyone talks about, is because it happens more often. So Mercury as a planet appears from our perception here on Earth to go into a retrograde phase, to move backwards across the sky, about 2 or 3 times a year. So quite common. And Mercury will move backwards for about 3 weeks. So Mercury as a retrograde planet has less of an influence on our whole lives than some of the other planets. And this is because it happens more often and it's for a shorter amount of time. So it has less influence. And this is why Mercury, in pop culture, it's like back up your computer, watch your emails and your text messages, look out for travel plans. These kind of things will upset your smallness of your day, as in it will be a problem, for a short period of time. But it's not necessarily going to impact the whole of your life. That is, of course, unless the text message or the email leads to perhaps somebody receiving the message that you didn't want them to receive. That could be a boss or a partner, and a secret or something comes out of that then causes a big ripple effect in your life. But if that does happen, it's usually because there are other planetary movements involved, not just Mercury. So when we have Mercury retrograde, we have to go back to thinking, what is obviously thinking, because Mercury is about our thoughts. What does that planet do? And what's the purpose when it goes backwards across a part of your life. So always remember that when a planet is moving retrograde, traveling backwards through a sign, it's also traveling backwards across your natal chart. So it'll be moving backwards across one of the houses or areas of your chart or your life. So when Mercury moves retrograde, it is asking us to rethink, to revisit, and to consider our communication energy or our thoughts in a particular way and in a particular area of your chart. So it's a great time to look at things perhaps that you've been studying, you've been using your mind for. It's a great time to change your mind about something. And changing your mind can be a good thing, especially if what's happening in your life isn't really working out how you want it to. So Mercury retrograde is an opportunity to think differently about something. So in later episodes, I will go deeper into each of the retrogrades and share with you the signs and the houses, how you can use them on a more intentional level. So look out for those episodes when they come out. So Venus as a planet, she is concerned with our emotions. She's concerned with how you relate to the world. She's also the planet of relationships because she's about relating. She is how you feel about the world. She's also connected to money, receiving. She's kind of the magnet. You activate your receiving energy through your Venus energy because she's about what you are worth. Now, Venus turns retrograde about every 18 months, and she will travel backwards through a particular sign or over an area of your chart, your life, for about 6 weeks. So this is a great opportunity for you to explore how you feel about things and for you to review that. This can be a time when past relationships kind of show up again. So a time when perhaps people from your past that you've had an emotional connection with come back into your life for, maybe this is to come back into your life for good, or maybe it's to come back into your life so that you gain another understanding or realization from what that relationship gave you. And this isn't always kind of romantic relationships. It can be any relationship where you've had an emotional connection. So this can be when someone physically comes back in your life, where you start dreaming about them, thinking about them, thinking about the relationship itself. So Venus retrograde is a fabulous time to look at your money. It's also a fabulous time to look at how you are valued. When Venus is traveling retrograde, things like this can be forced upon you, but your attention is drawn to them. And depending on what sign this happens in and which area of your chart this covers, it can be a really powerful period of time. Because with all of the retrograde planets, they've already gone over this part of your chart. They've been drawing your attention to things. And then when they turn retrograde, they're moving backwards. They're saying, look at this, feel into this again. And then when they move forwards again, this is the opportunity to make those changes. So it's draw your attention, have another look at this, and then move forward. This is the power of retrograde periods. They really are useful. So with Mars will turn retrograde about every 26 months, so just over 2 years. And he will spend between 8 and 10 weeks in a retrograde motion. Now, Mars is our action energy. So this can sometimes feel as if the brakes are on your action energy. It might feel as if, I'm not moving forward as much as I would want to in a particular part of your chart. And this can sometimes feel like a negative experience. Oh, I'm not moving forward. It's all about moving forward. Everybody talks about moving forward. This is what I must be doing. But actually, having a pause in your forward motion is a really powerful experience, because you can recognize what's not working. When I've been taking action in this way, has it been giving me the results that I want? And if the answer is not quite, or no, not at all, this is a great time to review that action energy. Because if your actions aren't getting you the results that you want, you need to step back. Those action pieces are obviously not working. So when Mars is retrograde, it is a fabulous time to review how you've been taking action. Now, maybe it's not our action that's the problem. Maybe it's what we feel about our actions. Maybe we really inside feel deeply uncomfortable with these actions that we've been taking, but it's what we should be doing. Well, anytime there is a should, it's kind of like you're squeezing yourself into a space that you don't fit in. So maybe you feel like that. And this is where we can really start to dive into the planets and psyche model, the understanding of your boardroom and how all of the planets fit together. Because if your actions aren't getting your results that you want, Jupiter and Saturn, we have to look at those actions. But actually, we need to look before that. We need to look at our Venus, our emotions. How emotionally connected are we to this? And if that, yeah, I'm emotionally connected, then we need to look at our Mercury, our thoughts. What do we think about this? Well, I'm not so sure. I've been having doubts. I don't really think this is the right course of action. Or actually, no, I do feel this is actually, I've thought about this and this is what I want to do. Now I feel emotionally engaged. The action is really, but it's still not getting there. So then we take a step back again. And this is where we come to our sun and our moon, our core identity. Because if we don't know who we are, then all of those other pieces of the puzzle will never fully slot into place. So retrograde periods can be really useful for looking at our ducks in our row. Which ones are slightly out of sync? Which duck has swum off to another part of the pond? Which duck is actually got its head facing down in the water and its bottom up in the air because it's mostly looking around on the, let me go and find some food. So having all of your ducks in the row, all of your planets in alignment, is the most powerful place to be. It is the most in alignment place to be. It's when we're in flow. And retrograde periods of all of the planets are a great opportunity. They are a gift from the universe for you to look at your ducks. Which one is, or ones, are swimming off in another direction? So now let's explore Jupiter as a retrograde planet. Now, about every 9 months, Jupiter will transition into a retrograde period, and this will happen for about 4 to 5 months. And this is a fabulous time to explore your belief systems, to look at the ones that are working and the ones that aren't. When Jupiter travels across a part of your chart in a forward motion, it is a time to expand, to move outwards in this particular area. And then when Jupiter retreats and travels into that retrograde period, it is the perfect time to explore your belief systems. Which beliefs about myself and the world no longer work? So Jupiter retrograde is an opportunity for a reset. Jupiter retrograde is a fabulous time to do an upgrade of yourself and what you believe in. Because as with all retrograde periods, there is the forward motion over that part of your chart, and then there is the reverse motion. We go back over that area and we say, okay, so I know who I am, my sun and my moon, my Mercury, yep, my thought patterns, they're working for me. I'm engaged emotionally. My Venus is there. She's present. She's in the line. I'm taking aligned action. You know, all my ducks are in the row so far. But actually, there is some tweaking I need to do. And this is about my faith, my hope, my belief, my dreams, and my vision, which is all the realms of Jupiter. And so Jupiter retrograde as this reset, rethinking time, it's perfect for making those adjustments, because this happens every year in a Jupiter cycle, because Jupiter spends about 12 to 13 months in a sign every single year, which is why it takes 12 years for Jupiter to go all the way around your chart. So every year there is an opportunity to upgrade your belief systems in an area of your life, which is part of the ever-evolving circle of yourself in a spiral. So every 12 months, there is a whole reset of your belief systems. And every 12 years, you've gone completely all the way around, and there is this upgrade. This is why the planets are so fabulous, and studying them and working with them it's just one big opportunity for you to evolve and grow, and for your life to move in the direction you want it to. Because we have these opportunities to revisit things, to explore things on a different level, to gain another layer of understanding, and another layer of healing, and another layer of up-leveling and evolution. So then we have Saturn. Now, Saturn is the last visible planet in the sky. So this is the last of the planets that have, we call them the personal planets, although Jupiter and Saturn are what we call social planets. They are the planets that make up our inner boardroom. So Saturn, about every 13 months, Saturn will turn retrograde and spends about 4.5 months in that retrograde motion. And Saturn's role is to show us what isn't working. So Saturn will move over a part of your chart, and his role is to ask you where you are on the 7 stages of Saturn, which I went into much greater depth in the Saturn podcast. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and have a listen. So Saturn will show us what isn't working in an area of our life. And as Saturn and Jupiter they will create bigger life changes for us because they are slower moving. They exert a firmer and a deeper pressure. So the slower moving planets, the outer planets, so the very outer planets, which are Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, have a much more lasting impact because they are much slower moving. So the pressure, the energy that they beam down to us here on Earth, it lasts for a longer period of time. Mercury whizzing around, the moon whizzing around. But so Jupiter, again, a little bit more pressure. Saturn, a little bit more pressure. So more life changing. So Saturn's job when he's retrograde is to encourage us to look again. So Saturn, as a hard taskmaster, can feel uncomfortable because he will put things right in front of your face. It's like he will turn your head and go, look at this. He will show you what isn't working. And he will do this again and again until you listen. Now, because we have for free will. That is part of the joys of being human. You might not want to look and listen. Just imagine you standing there with your hands over your ears going, la, 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 la. I'm not listening. Or your hands over your eyes. I'm not looking, I'm not looking. You can't see me. Like the little child who hides their head and thinks that you can't see them because they can't see you. And this is very common. We can do this because we are fundamentally often afraid of change. And Saturn will show us what needs to be changed. Now, when Saturn turns retrograde, Saturn is going, no, you need to look at this again. I've shown you this the first time round. So now I'm going to go back over this and I'm going to show you again. And again, you have a choice. Am I going to listen to this? Am I going to see this? Or am I going to turn my head? Am I going to look the other way completely? Am I going to turn my back on this? Or am I going to listen to what Saturn is telling me? Because what Saturn will do, he will also show you the solution. Saturn isn't just about rubbing your face in it and and that's it. Like, I'm going to rub your face in all the mess and the muck and then I'm going to walk away. Saturn will show you the outcome. Saturn will show you a solution. It's entirely up to you whether you take that solution. And this is the purpose of Saturn retrograde. To show you what isn't working, to show you again, and then as he moves forward, to show you the solution. So all of the planets in their retrograde motions, they are here to support you. Show you the picture, show you what isn't working, show you the solution. We just have to open our eyes, our hearts and our minds to those opportunities. Because the universe is not out to get you. The universe is on your side. And your choice is to see it that way. To explore all planetary movements with the energy of opportunity. What is this showing me? How can I use this awareness to continue my life evolution and, of course, my soul evolution? Now, sometimes it can feel as if you're going over old ground. I hear this a lot with my clients. I've done this. I've worked with this. I've explored this. I've done this before, and now I'm having to do it again. You're doing it again because there is something else there for you to release, to explore, and then to align to. There is something else for you to let go. And there will always be something for us to explore because that's what we signed up for when we landed here Earthside. On a soul level, you requested this experience. And your choice is to experience all of this in a, oh God, I'm doing it again, or a, yay, this is another step on my pathway. And I know which one I'm choosing because it feels so very different. So now we come to the most important part of this podcast, and that's the what's for tea. So tonight we are having roast chicken. Now, roast chicken is something that we have in our house every week. And that's because a roast chicken is just the most versatile thing because it makes many, many meals. So I will cook a chicken every week in different ways. Tonight I'm roasting it because they all want those potatoes. So tonight it's roasting. But why do I cook a chicken every week? Because it will serve me for many, many meals. So we'll have the chicken meal, the roast chicken, or chicken of some kind in some shape or form. And then the carcass is put in the pot with a load of herbs, and it's all boiled up, and we get liquid gold from that. It's the stock, chicken stock. It's all of the juicy goodness out of all of the bones, all of the stuff. So there is always a pot in my fridge of liquid gold. And it gets put in everything. So whatever I'm cooking will have a splash of chicken stock in it, because it's just got goodness in. And then the rest of the chicken will be used for lunches or stuck in other meals throughout the week. So it lasts and lasts. It lasts all week. And my dog Finn loves Chicken Day because he gets the chopping board. So he gets all of the fat, all the stuff. So when the chicken's torn apart into all the little pieces, he gets the skin and he gets the chopping board to lick. And he knows when it's Chicken Day because he'll start to smell it. He'll see me get the chicken out of the fridge and do all the things, all the herbs up its bum and all the rest of it. And he knows, and he will literally hang around in the kitchen all day until it's done. And then he sits there and it's like he gets Christmas every week and he gets the chopping board to lick. And he's the most happiest dog ever because he's licked the chopping board, he's licked all the bits, and it's like Christmas every week for Finn. So whether everybody else is eating the chicken or not, I know Finn is going to be one happy dog. So that is our What's for Tea tonight. So as always, thank you so much for listening, and from my heart to yours, love and starlight. Thank you for listening to today's episode. It's always good to hear what you think, so please let me know by leaving a comment. And if you loved what you heard, then it would be amazing if you shared it with your friends. If you would like to explore astrology and energy healing on a deeper level, come and join a community of open-hearted souls inside my Facebook group, Astrological Energy Healing for Life and Business. So until next time, love and starlight. Bye for now.